Hey everybody, Annette Green here today with Elizabeth Craft Designs, and I have got this adorable little mini traveler's notebook to share with you today. It's a little project that I've made for a friend of mine who's getting ready to go on a trip, and I have used several of the new Elizabeth Craft Designs dies, the Art Journal series in particular. And I could just give you a quick little flip through of my book. I have used all kinds of different papers. I'll tell you all about the supplies in a moment. Give you a little spin through. I've done some stamping. I have done some like washi sticker tape and some watercolor paper. I have stitched the signatures before they're slid into the book. And I'll tell you all about that. But just to give you an idea, very fun to make. Some ephemera, little belly band with some great little quotes. As you can see, my little tags here have twine and some very natural colored beads. Sometimes there's ephemera cut aparts in some of the pages. Great little pockets and tuck spots. Big vellum stickers. Very fun project. I finished this in an afternoon. By the time I cut everything out and stacked it all up, it was just a matter of embellishing slightly and putting it all together. It's super fun, super fun. So you get the idea, and then the third signature kind of repeats a little bit. We've got a nice natural bee theme, mushroom nature kind of theme going here, which is perfect for my friend. Okay, well, there you go. So let me share all the details. First, let's talk about supplies. So, of course, I have used the new little mini traveler's notebook in the vintage brown. This little passport-sized art journal traveler's notebook is wonderful. And I can't wait to get my hands on the little denim one either, but for now, this is the one that I have. I've also used the butterfly pocket insert die, which has all this stuff on it, and this too. It's a big die, tons of stuff on it, and that's sort of the feature of the video today. I also used the decorative insert die, which I just used the page with the little deckled edge on it, but there's a lot of fun stuff on there, as you can see. And then I used the floral insert die set, which has this standard, straight edge page die, and then some really fun little flowers, which I did use a few of these, as you'll see inside. I used a little bit of vellum. Some of it is just, transparent vellum, translucent, I should say, not transparent. And then some of it's sort of like a decorative vellum, which I had in my stash. Used a little bit of watercolor paper. I used, instead of just plain copier paper, which is clean and white, I used this wonderful sketch pad. It's called Toned Tan from Strathmore. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's pretty wonderful. It's nice and thick, but not too thick like cardstock. And it's great for just plain pages that you want to have a little bit of color or a vintage look too. And then finally, I'll talk about this wonderful Avery clear label paper. I want to show you something kind of cute with that. And then, of course, I used some Elizabeth Crafts double-sided adhesive in the 1/8 inch and the 1/4 inch, which is super handy. So when I begin a journal, I just cut a bunch of pages. I don't know exactly how many I need all the time, but I go ahead and get myself started at least. And so out of the watercolor paper, I used that decorative page insert die. I've already added a few little vellum stickers, which are mushrooms, because this little book is going to a friend of mine who loves mushrooms. So I just kind of left these very plain, did a little mushroom sticker inside each page. I don't know how many I'll use, we'll see. But I just kind of get them ready, and as you can see, I put a very light inking around the edges of these pages. And then I used some This is not even that sketch paper I showed you. This is the sketch paper I showed you right here. So you can see the difference here. This is just some paper I had in my stash. I think I got it on Amazon. It's just sort of a distressed, almost like a little speckle, maybe a little coffee stained look, but it's already like that. So I did a stack full of pages like that with some vellum borders on the sides. As you can see, just various stickers. And then I stamped on, this is that toned tan paper that I showed you. I stamped some mushrooms on just the fronts of these, and then sometimes a fern or flower or something different on the back sides of these. So I've prepped all these little pages. Sometimes there's some bee stuff because this person also likes bees like I do. So, you know, just kind of get them ready. So I've got that one, the watercolor, and then I've got this great, again, I think I got this on Amazon. It's sort of like a parchment. It's real crispy, sort of distressed looking. And I ink the edges. And then again, these are vellum stickers, like that clear sticker paper I'll show you. And so I had some digital imagery. I believe this was from Nick the Booksmith, a lot of this bee stuff. So I just kind of stuck those large stickers right in the fronts of each of these, and then otherwise these are plain. This one is from somewhere else, I think My Porch Prints. And I just bring them into Photoshop and print them out onto that paper. So these have a lot of bee themed ones on these in particular. And then that one. Okay, so there's that. Now, I did have some ephemera packs that I just kind of, you know, I get these cute little packages when I go to expos and stuff, and I added some of those vellum stickers onto each one of these just to kind of dress them up, and I'll tuck those into my journal. And then finally, sort of the feature of the video is the butterfly pocket insert die. And so I have 3 of these that I made up. They each have a little tag. The tag has some sewing around the edges, some twine, and some little beads, and then it goes right in there. And I chose this option, which I'll show you different options with this die, but I chose to leave this open like a book so I can insert it into my traveler's notebook. So there's 3 of these. They're all slightly different, but very similar in color and feel. Sometimes I added a little bit of ephemera on the inside. As you can see, this one has the decorative vellum in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. And then this one has just the clearish, transparent, translucent vellum. And then this one also has the decorative vellum inside. So sometimes there's those little funky flower things. Sometimes I put a sticker if I felt that it was plain. Sometimes I didn't put anything if I didn't feel like it needed it. A little bit on the back, a little stamping on this one. Okay, and so then I went ahead and I stacked together my pages. I just kind of determined how many I wanted in each. And I like sort of a mix and match kind of feel like this. So I just stacked up as many as I could and dividing those into 3s. I had a few that were extra left over that I'll just use in something else. But the key was that I wanted the watercolor pages to be in the centers of each of the signatures. And that is because if you truly will watercolor in your journal, I feel like this is the best place for this so that it's nice and flat and you're not fighting against any of this. So that's the reason for doing it that way. Also, you'll notice I went ahead and stitched my signatures together with a pretty green, it's like an upholstery thread, nice and thick, and it's an earthy green color. I did use a embroidery needle with a very large eye. It gets through the paper layers very nicely and easily. So I did that to each of the 3. And now I'm just going to insert them into my traveler's notebook. You do want to make sure before you start sliding this in, let me start with the back, that your notebook you have your notebook the right way. See how it's embossed in the back here? You don't want it upside down. Whoops. So I'm going to insert the last one first into the center of the spread. And before I put in my very first one up here, I wanted to show you that I do make a little simple template. Just a piece of cardstock folded in half, and it's about the height of each of the signatures. And I make a hole with an awl about 1.25 inches from the top and the bottom. And that way all of them are the same. It's nice and uniform. And then I just kind of punch through all the way, all the layers, and then just tie it into a knot on the back. Super easy. Okay, and so that's how she looks. Now, I do want to mention that I talked about those little ephemera envelopes that I had. I went ahead and put those in. Instead of just tucking them in and they may fall out, I took some, I had these wonderful quote strips. These are also probably from Nick the Booksmith, a digital file I purchased from her. These wonderful positive quotes or little kind of poems. Anyway, I made a little belly band out of it, and then I can tuck my little envelopes in there like that. So I did that with each of them. There's that one. And each of the quotes is a little different. And then finally the last one is here. And then I had a whole bunch of these different quote strips left. So I went ahead, this is from the Planner Essentials 2 die set. The little pocket, I don't know what you call that thing, but that cute little, this guy, little pocket thing. I went ahead and put it on there and stamped it with some mushrooms. And then I cut apart all the little quote strips. And then that way the recipient of the journal can use them throughout the journal if they want, or use them on a different project or what have you. Okay, so let's talk more about that wonderful die. The butterfly pocket insert die that I showed you has all these dies on it. I wanted to show you a couple of different ideas on how to use that die. Of course, you saw the way that I used it in mine, where when I assembled it, I left that one flap open so that I could tuck it into my notebook. But you can always build it like this, where instead of leaving open that flap, you actually fold it in and glue it so that each of these notches are on the outsides, making it a double channeled pocket, which is great. And then you can die cut some of the tags because the tag die is also included. And I've just used this great like wood grain, birch tree kind of paper on both sides, and then put the cute little ribbon and twine on there. And then it's a nice white-ish color, so it shows through that decorative pocket detail so nicely. And then on this side as well. So that's another way to use it. Really cute. I could see using this at Christmas time and putting gift cards in there. That would be really fun. Just a basic tag is a great idea to put onto a gift. As you can see, I've die cut the tag, and then I die cut the that fancy little detail, which incidentally matches this exactly. It's actually the flip of that. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it is like this. So that little detail, you can cut away from something like that. And it would look great just right on the tag like that, but I thought it would be even better to put a kind of a compatible colored cardstock piece behind it before it goes on the tag. So that's just a simple, fun idea to make just a tag, and that can go in a journal or on a gift or whatever. And then another fun tag that I made, if you notice, there's these butterfly wings here. And so I just kind of went a little bit different with this one. They have all these fun words in here and letters. And this one says fly free, which I thought was perfect with the butterfly. So I just made a simple tag, put a little trim at the bottom, used the words and 2 butterflies here to make another cute tag. So lots of options, lots of things you can play with this. And I'll give you a little sneak peek at something. Hold on. can't show you the whole thing, but I will show you that there are fun words in the set that you can kind of play around with, just the words themselves. So there's another option. So there's all kinds of fun you can have with that. All right, and before I leave you today, I promised that I was going to tell you a little bit more about this Avery Clear full sheet shipping label. I'm calling it paper. It's sticker paper, but it's clear, kind of frosty, kind of cool. So I got this idea from Nick the Booksmith, who I mentioned earlier. This is one of her digital files, and she created some decorative, like washi tape, basically. You can make your own washi by cutting these images down into strips. And you can do that with anything, really. I mean, these are from a different company, My Porch Prints, and they're all these great postage stamps. I have printed them on that sticker paper. And so you just cut your stuff out, whatever size you want it, and peel off the backing. It's wonderful because it's got this, you know, crack and peel, I guess they call that. And so it's a little translucent. Let's see, I'll stick it on to the back of this. So whatever color you're sticking it on, of course, it's going to take on that color. So if you go on to dark stuff, it's going to be a little dark, but very vintage, very cool looking. And then lighter colors, paper, of course, would have a different effect. But that's just a fun little tip, and I used that throughout, like I told you when I was showing you through the book. Alrighty, well, that's it for me today, using those fun dies and the little mini traveler's notebook. I hope that you like this project. It was super fun to make, and that I hope that my friend enjoys it as much as I enjoyed making it. I think that she will. Thank you so much for watching. Please visit Elizabeth Craft Designs and get yourself some of these fun dies and this cute little traveler's journal, and have some fun creating. Thanks again. Have a great day.